Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at this really nice sleeveboard Schrade Cutlery Company knife, and a couple interesting stories about this knife. One on how I picked it up, and just an aside about George P. Schrade, probably a story you never heard before, but yeah, check it out. This is a beautiful knife, and I know you'll enjoy the video. Hey, did you just get some icing? Hey, welcome back to the channel. Hi to all my viewers. We're looking at this really cool looking knife today. Pen knife. It is 3 3/8 inch long. It's made by Schrade Cutlery Company, and let's just look at the knife, and then we'll get into some other things. So when you look at this knife, it's a sleeve board design, so it kind of looks like a ironing board, wider up here, smaller down here. And you have a really cool, look at this celluloid scales on here. Really cool. Probably, they'd probably call this a horn design, a type of horn design, but really cool. You've got black and yellow, nickel silver pins, nickel silver oval shield, tip nickel silver bolsters, brass liners on the back. This knife is in really good condition, even though there's some cracks in here. That doesn't bother me at all. It's just, age on here, and the knife itself and the handles are really good. So really nice spear point blade on here. Let me show you the tank stamp real quick. Schrade Cutlery Company, Walden, New York. And they had a numbering system. It doesn't seem to have survived on the knife, and sometimes they just weren't marked. Both blades, of course, were marked. That's a good sign of a pre-World War II knife if all the blades are marked. So that's our knife, what it's all about. And let me show you. See here. I have a catalog from 1926. Let's see where it is here. And I believe that is the model number knife, 7114. And probably horn praline would have been the designation on it. These are the different models that they made in 1926. That's the earliest recording I have of that knife right there. Could have been this one here, 711P, but this has a shield, and the other one doesn't. So got a couple cool old timer items on for eye candy there. This compass. Look at this compass. Look it down in the center there. What is that right there? So that is a jewel, a gem. It's a copper dish, and there's a little gem there. That was quite common on old compasses. I'm not really sure why they did put those gems there. And then you can see the copper ring on this. And it's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can get it out of the way here. Come on. There we go. and you can see it was made by Taylor. Taylor was an instrument company, old instrument company in Rochester, New York. They made a lot of different type of instruments. This compass on the back is got a marking USCE, and that stands for United States Civil Engineers. And so this was a compass that was used by the government. I don't believe that is a wartime compass. Usually they're marked with some type of designation that designated as a wartime compass. I believe that predates a wartime compass. A lot of these that you see come out of World War I. I think this is older than that, so probably around 1900s. So this is a beautiful knife, and I want to talk about this knife a little bit later in the video and show some other comparison knives, but just a fantastic size for a penknife. Very thin, very easy to use. But when I bought this knife, I saw it on eBay. It was all white. This was all white. You can kind of see these lines, but you couldn't see any color or any definition at all. This was all red, and the blades, both blades were completely red. You couldn't even see the manufacturer on here. But I had a gut feeling about this knife, and the thing was, the guy was selling it for $3. I was the only one that bid and got this thing and cleaned it up, and this is what this knife is. Just a wonderful pre-World War II Schrade in fantastic condition for $3. And yeah, that's kind of an interesting story in itself. But this is Schrade Cutlery Company knife. They were started by George P. Schrade, and his brothers, he had two brothers, took over the company from him, and he started the company in 1904, but he produced knives prior to that. He produced knives late in the 1890s, and he was an inventor. He worked in the U.S. Patent Office, and so he's kind of an engineer, right? And he worked in the patent office for a long time, got out, designed a knife, and what he wanted to do was design a knife that was an improved switchblade knife. So switchblades came along really early, prior to the Civil War, and he wanted to improve on it. And so his first design was a switchblade knife, and he started his company, the Schrade Push Button Pocket Knife Company, and Walden Knife Company really liked his design and encouraged him to come work with them, and that's what he did. Eventually, he sold the patent for that switchblade, which gave him the money to start the Schrade Cutlery Company. After all of that, in 1906, he walks away. He sold his shares to his brother, and what he wanted to do was produce machines. So he was inventing machines to help produce pocket knives. So he went to the UK first, and he was successful. He sold a machine to Thomas Turner, and the Americans at this time were out producing Sheffield knife makers. There were tariffs up that hurt Sheffield knife makers a lot. but they still embrace the old way of making pocket knives, hammer forged blades. Many times the blades were hammered out by the forger, and very few companies were actually cutting their blades, which America had been doing since the 1860s. And it just made you a lot more efficient, and you could produce more if you could do that. So by that time, I guess the British realized they were in trouble, and he sold one of his machines to Thomas Turner, which he installed. And it was a machine for making these pockets where you put the shields into the scales. The English used an old type of device. It was a drill, and you put it in there and you twirled the drill around, and it made a really accurate opening for the knife. It was also a lot slower than a machine just cutting it out. And so Thomas Turner installed that. Not Thomas Turner, it was owned by, I think, Hobbs, I think the guy's name was at the time, that owned Thomas Turner. And the workers went on strike. They didn't want to have any machines in their cutlery shop. And that's really one of the things that led to the demise of the English cutlery. But these guys went so far, they threw a bomb up on Hobbs's balcony, his bedroom balcony, which went off. And so, needless to say, they removed the machine from the plant. But really interesting story on how fanatical these cutlers were in Sheffield, England, and to what lengths they would go to protect the old ways of doing things. But it really led to the demise of the cutlery industry in England. So prior to this video, I was just going to show this knife off a little bit and tell a few stories, but this is a great knife. It feels great in your hand. I mean, it really does. Sleeveboard design works well. It's kind of neutral, ergonomic. And this knife, although it's a pen knife, it's 3 3/8 inches, almost 3.5. So really good EDC size, but really small. And it got me really to thinking about pen knives. And so I did some more research, and you just can't find these knives nowadays. And I would really encourage you, if you get these kind of pen knives, either sleeveboard or equal end, in this size range, in a 3/4 to 3 3/8 size range, to buy one and check it out. They are just perfect little EDC knives. Very easy to pocket. You can put them in your top pocket. You can put them in your fifth pocket. But you just can't get these things nowadays. So I looked around, and there is nobody selling a knife like this. So you can still get knives like these. This is, I think it's 3 inches. Let me check here. This case is about 3 1/4 inches. And it's a 44 pattern. Case still sells these in a penknife configuration with a blade at each end. But the thing is this is a nice little knife, but look how much wider it is than these old single back spring knives. Quite a bit wider. And I kind of like that, but it's also less pocketable. They're heavier, bulkier. Here's a 42 pattern, and it is in a pin blade configuration. They still sell this pattern. Case does, but it's bulkier. It's still bulkier than this knife right here. And the other problem with this knife is it's a lot smaller. So you can see right there. This is kind of just a perfect size, 3 3/8 for a little heavy-duty penknife. Let me show you another one. This is a Christopher Johnson. Again, that sleeveboard design. But they're just, they're really thin, but they're heavy-duty. And this knife is very comparable to this knife right here. They're just really heavy-duty pen knives, I guess is the way you would describe them. But yeah, if you never tried one, it's worth picking one of these knives up. They're in good shape and just using, because they are fantastic little carry knives to have in your fifth pocket. And maybe like a Victorinox Classic or Classic SDs, kind of similar. They're a little bigger and maybe a little heftier. But there's nothing really like these knives. They just kind of vanished in the 70s. Nobody makes them anymore. Great classic pattern. Really worth having one or two of these to use. Great little knife to have in a bathing suit. Take to the beach when you need to cut something. Open a bag. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed the video. Really appreciate y'all so much. You just don't know how much I appreciate y'all checking out the video. We'll see you in the next one.